All right. So, this video here is going to be what if Naruto was the reincarnation of this age? You might be asking yourself, what am I doing? Am I truly going to be posting Sunday and Monday? Probably. Probably not. We will know when the day comes. Now, you will hear air conditioner in the back, and if I get sidetracked and just get quiet, because I'm listening to music in the background, and that's gonna probably confuse me. So, yeah, and if you hear talking in the background, I can't stop it. And remember, again, any noise in the background, still don't know how to like tone it down. I probably know how to like make it a little more quiet. But yeah. Anyway, let's start this. All right. This story here, all right, I'm just gonna read out this right here. This is what it says at the first. I'm just gonna read it out. Of course, I'm gonna put it in the description, but I'm gonna read it out just for y'all that don't look in the description, because I know y'all don't care anything. Y'all just want me to read the story. Most of y'all just want me to be quiet. I know, I was that person. I mean, I am that person. I understand. Anyway, this AU is pretty similar to the others. Dojutsu Naruto, OP Team 7, Artnet Team 7, FemHaku, only three pairing set in stone. The Sage of Six Paths is tired of watching the cycle repeat, so he interferes. If he knew what he was starting, he might have rethought that action. Hopefully the world survives without excessive amount of trauma. The Void. A single man sat watching the world. He left so many years ago. He had hope that things would turn out for the better. Hope that his actions were the right ones, but as time went on, it became clear how wrong he was. He had watched the reincarnation of his children, leading to armies to kill each other, time and time again. He had hoped when it was the most recent incarnations had come together to build a home and bring an end to the constant war, driven by the clan system, that things would be better. But in the end of the decision of those that came before him, drove the two apart. And and to the moment he saw, oh no, at the moment he saw now, Hashirama Senju stood tall over his opponent. His dark, layered armor hung off of him in tatters. A high collar was shattered off, off, and his clothes underneath was ripped, cut, and burned. He had the blade of his opponent's side sticking out of his side. Madara Uchiha was in no better shape. He was lying prone, clothes and armor in tatters, with his dark hair burned and matted to his body with blood. His eyes were still burning crimson with the Sharingan, but with his chakra fading, it wouldn't last. He had Hashirama's sword and a double-ended glavers sticking from his back. The father of the two souls watched their final battle in what would be known, at what would become to known as the Valley of the End. The man watched as the incarnation of Indra laid on the ground, dead or dying, and Ashura's incarnation limped away, muttering apologies with tearful eyes. So many times this happened, and the Watcher was tired of it. It was time for for change. He would have to interfere just this once. The truly being change to this cursed world. He breathed a new life into Madara, not enough for him to fight, but enough for him to survive for now. He would heal with time. He just needed a little bit of time, of help. The Watcher's eyes moved away from the scene as he found Hashirama limping home. This battle had worn him in many more ways than he could know at the moment. His chakra network was damaged severely, and he only had a few years left as a ninja, and a couple more after of life. He was a important part of this as well. The sage hated interfering with the free will of men, but at this rate, the world would end with the next incarnation of his sons. He needed someone else involved, someone impractical to his sons' petty squabbles. He needed the incarnation to be as powerful as possible, if necessary, for what is to come. That the world must know peace, even if he couldn't see it directly. 48 years later, Kushina Uzumaki was given birth to her first child. In the room was her was Byakuo Saratobi and her apprentice Taji. So far everything was good. Everything was going well, except for the fact that her husband wasn't here. Oh shit. Where's Minato? She nearly screamed. Byakuo gripped her hand. He was called into a council meeting at the wrong time. He'll be here soon. Byakuo assessed her. Kushina cried in pain at her constant, what? Contractions, my bad. Contractions got worse. Alright, breathe and push, Kushina. Little Naruto wants out, and nothing is stopping him now. She did as she was told, and just when she started, Minato flashed into the room. Saw him late. Things got a little bit heated between Fugaku and Danzo. He called on his way over. He moved next to the bed and gripped his wife's hand, placing a gentle kiss on the back of it. It's good you decided to show up, Kushina sassed him before letting out a scream of pain. Minato chuckled and comforted her as she gave birth to their son. He watched on as Byakuo washed their child with care and wrapped him up so he could be held. He looked toward his wife with a warm smile until a cold laugh pulled his attention back forwards. There was a thud as Byakuo hit the ground unconscious. "Hello, Minato." A voice from his right called. He shifted his gaze, and his eyes fell on a figure in dark red robes and a mask covering everything but his eyes. Minato was careful as he gripped one of his kunai tightly. He would have to be careful. Well, wait, hold up, shit. Well, then I suppose we can make this transition simple. I'll give you back your child if you release the Kyuubi for me. Minato looked down at his wife as she frowned at him. I refuse. If I refuse, he responded. The masked man chuckled. In an instant, he tossed Naruto into the air and readied a kunai to throw. And readied a kunai to throw. I said readied. That is my bad. Anyway, give me a second. All right. Minato reached and intercepted the weapon with one of his own. He used Hirishin to flash over to his son and catch him before throwing his kunai toward his wife. It stuck to the bed frame next to her head. Ooh, damn. And he flashed away again. Namikaze compound safe house. Minato placed Naruto in the crib he had placed and flashed back to Kushina's side. Back with Kushina. Minato arrived and kicked the masked man clear from his wife. You're too late, Minato. I've already won. The blonde looked back and saw that the Kyuubi seal was missing. The masked man disappeared in a swirl, keep coming from his eye. Kushina, are you okay? Minato called in panic. I'm fine, Minato. Is Naruto safe? He nodded. Good. Whoever the hell that was took the Kyuubi. We need to get back into the village and prepare for the worst. Minato lifted her out the bed and disappeared. Namikaze compound safe room. Minato was about to lay Kushina in the bed when the masked figure from before appeared again. Oh, come on, man. Do you have a bone to pick with me or something? Minato groaned. Well, not really, but Just thought you'd want a few things. First thing, you won't be able to steal the QB back into your wife. If it would be undoubtedly killer. Second, I release the QB into the village. Lastly, fuck you. That was bro, that was just funny. The max man flipped Minato. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for laughing, but that's just so funny. He wasn't fast enough. Minato blurred over and punched the man square in his chest. Yeah. He gripped his wrist and used higher shin to pull the man out of the village. Wow, you're rude. Yeah, wow, you're really rude. I mean, flipping me off in front of my wife, I'll be sure to pay you back. For that in a moment. The Maxman chuckled. Well, then let's get over with this. Might as well kill you while I have the in an instant. Minato was next to the man and hit her with a fist cocked back. The Maxman ducked under the fist and aimed a kick on the blonde. Minato flashed away before reappearing and dropped a kick onto his opponent. It landed and the man bounced off the ground with a thud. Minato prepared another kick that passed right through the Max man. Oh, that was cool, Max Kun. Want to tell me how you did it? Minato heard a snarl on her part. In reply, and Max Kun charged, releasing chains from his sleeves what the heck? As he moved, the battle was fierce. I won it fiercely one-sided. Minato wasn't the Yondaime Hokage for no reason. Each move he made was deliberate and vicious. A well-placed kick, a well-placed jab, and even his use of higher shin, all came together to completely outclass the Madman. On occasion one, Minato's attacks would pass through his opponent, but it didn't matter much. It was like he was fighting on an inexperienced child. Minato slid under a swing of the chains, and when they unpatched a tree, he split it in half. It was clear they weren't normal. He flipped backwards and threw a kunai at Max Kun. Max Kun, in all of his confidence, just let the weapon pass through him. Minato smirked and used higher shin. In an instant, the yellow flash had a Rasengan ready to end this, but something stayed his hand. But something stayed his hand. A mere moment of hesitation had given Max Kun all the time he needed to skip and lift it. His chakra scissor felt familiar. Hidden Leaf Village. Minato arrived on the battlefield to find Kushina standing on the top of the Hokage monument, holding their son and controlling the chakra chains that were currently binding Kyuubi. You could take a breather. You just gave birth to our child, Minato teased. The redhead gave him a deadpan look, but she was clearly trying to hide her smile. She took a deep breath and looked down at their son. It has to be him. Minato nodded. Do you think that he'll be fine without us? She asked, tears prickling in her eyes. Minato walked and kissed her forehead, but head. I mean, who would kiss a head, bro? Come on now. Well, there is another option. Kushina turned to her husband quickly. I can split and implant the QB chakra between the three of us. We only need a portion, just enough to let us contact him through the QB. Whoever attacked today wants to weaken the village, so we'll have to make them believe they did. Naruto will stay. Naruto will be alone in the village, but we can still help him grow. We'll help him grow and love him. He had been thinking of reworking the QB still for a while. They were certain things that could have been changed for the host as well as Fox. Just because the 9 tails had to be sealed doesn't mean he had to be completely uncomfortable. Suddenly, a voice expected spoke to them. Will you two hurry the hell up? Whoever that Max bastard is, just tried to summon me away. The QB called. Their eyes shot over to the Fox. His mouth wasn't moving, but they could hear him. Damn it, humans. Get your shit in gear and end this. I refuse to be controlled by another pair of those damn Sharingan. I'd rather be sailed. Minato actually chuckled. Damn, who knew the Fox wasn't a complete asshole? Well, were you being controlled this entire time? The blonde asked. I hold no love for you humans, but I wouldn't try to wipe out a village just for no good reason. I am old and tired. Just make sure I have room to stretch and nap inside for the sail and I'll be fine. The QB called out. Kushina and Minato shared a look and nodded. They had to at least get the Fox someplace. He couldn't be sealed. He couldn't be summoned. Okay. I'm gonna take us all to the sitting room under our home. The time-space sail goes down there. Should keep fair face down there. Just because your wife is holding me down doesn't mean I can't flatten you. The Fox called with a menacing flick of his tail. Okay, fine. Lighten up, why don't you? It won't kill you, Minato pouted with a flare of his chakra. Kushina, the Fox, and himself flashed away. When they arrived in the sitting room, Minato fell to one knee. Shit. That took a lot out of me. Okay, let's make this quick. Kushina, grab the ceiling scroll I've been working on. Look it over a while. I get the supplies. If you can see anything that needs improvement, plan for them now. She ran off and did as she was told, while the 9 tails watched them work. Tell me, Minato, how the hell did you even think this up? This is functioning two-way chakra seal. This could give the container the ability to let the tail beast roam free at will. Kyuubi's ears perked up at that. Well, that's the point. Trapping the Fox for the rest of his life serves no purpose. Eventually, he'll escape, and he will probably be pretty pissed about his treatment. Might as well give him a chance to enjoy himself. Minato glanced at the Fox, only to receive a huffing response. Well, so far it looks good, but the chakra flow rate should be tweaked. Other than that, it's perfect. She got to work on the changes, and Minato went over to draw the cellular array over her chakra system. But when he was done, she did this. She did his. Kushina held Naruto as they began working on him. Okay, Kyuubi, I know we haven't really spoken that much or gotten along, but please keep him safe. He'll treat you better than I could ever have. I'll make sure of it. He'll make a good partner, and he'll treat you as an equal, Kushina promised. You can't know that yet, but if you are right, if he treats me well, I'll help him as best as I can. Kyuubi responded. Well then, it's about time we get this over with. Minato called out and slammed his hands to the ground. A ceiling array spread over the floor until everyone was on top of it. Seal! The QB became pure chakra and split into 3 parts, 2 much smaller than the third. A moment later, the chakra took hold in his host and settled, leaving Minato and Kushina with whisker marks. Naruto, on the other hand, got the whisker marks, as well as sharper teeth, a slightly pointed ears, a red-orange hue to the tips of his hairs, and fingernails that came to a point. Well, shit. Maybe we should have thought over the consequences of the chakra seal a bit more. Minato deadpanned. Look, it's too late now. We need to get Sarutobi and Kakashi here soon. If anyone, those two have have to know what happened. Minato nodded and flared his chakra to signal his location to the third in the student. Sarutobi and Kakashi arrived on the scene and saw them together looking down at their son. What the hell is happening? What the hell is going on here, Minato? How did the fox escape? Sarutobi demanded. Pregnancy, weakened the seal. Someone found my location and freed the tail beast from me while I was too weak to stop him. Too late to change that now. So listen up. They target us especially. They want us weak for some reason. So we'll let them believe we are. Me and Minato are living in the village. The official story that we died, Kushina explained. We're leaving Naruto in the village. We're leaving Naruto in the village. He's at your care. Though we do still have a link to him. We have enemies that would do anything to see him dead. If my heritage became common knowledge, it would only get worse. He's going to come. What? He's going to come to you and ask for the truth. He'll tell you except exactly when he's ready. Please do your best by him. We can't be there for him right now, but so we're relying on you. Minato continued. I'm sorry to hand you back the hat so soon, old man, but the paperwork is a killer. The paperwork is a killer on the wrist. Kakashi, stop living in the past. You didn't fail your team, and you didn't fail me. You did all you could, and you suffered enough. The two men nodded. Sensei, I'll make sure he becomes a ninja you'll be proud of, Kakashi promised. As well I, Minato. Just be sure to write on occasion. I know how scatterbrained you two could get when you're alone together. Kushina, at least had the city blush all at Yeah, old timer. I'll make sure to write every chance I get. Last thing though. There's a scroll in the desk of the office with Naruto's name on it. When you tell him everything, give it to him. He's going to need that. Together, Minato and Kushina disappeared in yellow flash. In the single night, the Hidden Leaf lost its Hokage and an S-class ninja. To the rest of the world, it seems that to the rest of the world, it would seem like a while until they recovered. 4 years later, Naruto Uzumaki was running. This wasn't a usual occurrence, whether it would be running from angry villagers or Anbu after one of his pranks. He was often running. He was really good at it, actually. He was faster than any other civilian and good amount of the beginning of the village. This was different though. The sun wasn't out and there was no one to witness the hidden things this mob. Oh, I can't say that word because I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, this mob is planned. He was used to this. The cold looks, the harsh words, the throw objects, and rejection as a whole. Still, this was an attempt at lynching. It was his birthday and his first one without the little protection the orphanage provided. He was thrown out months ago, and before today he felt better off. Now that the Kyuubi brat didn't have a place to hide, the villagers who had a grudge against him for no reason sought his end. Hold up, I need a water break. Give me a second. Nobody bought it. Inhale, exhale, jerk off on the heart. Alright, I'm sorry. Alright. Still, he was having fun taunting the crowd of mostly civilians while keeping just in front of them. He was leading them around them. No, he was leading them by the nose, using his knowledge of the village's alleys and shortcuts to his advantage. The blonde cut down an alley and slid through a hole in the fence. He broke back into a ran after flipping his pursuers the bird. He was in the clear now, more than having fun until he felt something dark approaching him. Quickly, he turned around just in time to catch a kunai in his forearm. Yeah! He howled in pain and rolled under the next few that came his way. He jumped clear and caught his eyes with the three chunin chasing him now. His eyes widened as one of them made hell time. Goton! Finish flow jutsu! A small fireballs flew through the air, cloning along with a sizable amount of ninja tools. The blonde felt a tug at the back of his head, a draw on his chakra reserves. His eyes began to burn, and he could feel the tears running down his face. He took a deep breath that he thought might be his last. The world slowed. He could count every and each attack that was heading his way, and he could guess the trajectories he could escape, but it wouldn't be unharmed. There was a gap in the attacks, just enough for him to squeeze through, but he but it would be close enough to the two fireballs to get burned. He crouched low and launched himself forward. The closer he got, the clearer his opening was. He jumped and touched his arms and legs in close. He felt the fireballs get close enough to burn and tried to ignore the pain midair. He grabbed one of the kunais and deflected the kunai that hid in the shadow of another one. He landed into a roll as his leg buckled. He dragged himself to his feet and glanced at the stunned ninja trying to kill him. The leader shook out of his stupor first and rallied to the two. What the hell are you doing? Kill him! He ordered. Naruto pulled himself to his feet and ran into the darkness. There was very little safety to be found nearby. Still, he went to the area he was calling home. He stayed out of sight and rushed to the only safety he had, the forest of death. Minutes later, Naruto finally made it to a small cave he'd been living in for the last few months. He still had a grip on his kunai as he tucked into his safe haven and rested to heal his wounds. He was growing tired, but he needed to stay alert for a little while longer. There was always a chance that he was followed and had to react fast or he would die. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay awake longer as he was dragged into his own mind. Little did he know something was gathering outside of his cave, plotting his end in Naruto's mindscape. The blonde child found himself in an unfamiliar setting. It seemed like an adequate or a sewer or some sort. The fact that he was sitting in water that came up to his ankles reinforced that idea. He stood up and looked himself over, only find completely healed. Naruto felt drawn farther into the structure and only stopped when he was standing in front of a massive gate blocked off an area of darkness. Leaning against the gate was a blonde man wearing a long white coat that ended in flames at the end. He had brilliant blue eyes that matched his own. Hi, Naruto. He spoke softly. The younger blonde looked at the man strangely. I don't think High is gonna cut it. I don't think High is gonna cut it here. How about you tell me where I am? Why am I here? And who are you? Naruto replied. The stranger grinned despite himself. Well, I'm Minato Namikaze, your father. This is your mindscape, and you are here because you seem to have tapped into much more of your own chakra and the foxes than you should be able to. Naruto took a step back and really looked at the man in front of him. Sure, they had the same colored hair and eyes, but the Yamanaka clan also had blonde hair and the power to enter minds. What sold him with a warm smile on his face. It was so much like his own, it scared him. It wasn't the fake one he put on as he walked through the village. It was really a truly genuine smile that he reserved only for those few people who treat him like a person. You're, you, you really are my dad, but you're the fourth Hokage. That means you were the one that killed the Kyuubi. Oh my god, my dad is so cool. Minato sat back and watched his son gushed over all of his accomplishments until a booming voice silenced. Who said this whelp killed me? A pair of glowing red eyes called from the cage Minato leaned against. Well, hey, Grumpy Pants, did you miss me? Minato teased. The eyes drew closer until a massive red fox showed his face. You didn't capture me. Kushina did. Kushina did that. What especially did you do again? The massive fox taunted. Minato cries animated. Hey, no need to kick me over my lowest moments, Fox. Look, Naruto. I saw this big ugly furball inside you, so you could be the strongest to protect the village while I'm away. Though I wasn't expecting you to tap into the fur face's chakra this early. Seriously, what the hell happened to the village? Look like I'm getting sidetracked, and there's a lot we need to cover. Naruto stopped staring at the fox and fixed it on his father. You need to know more about me. You need to know more about You need to know more about me. If you want to hope to know why things happened this way, they did the way they did. Not only was I the fourth Hokage, I personally led the quick reaction team, the force of the hidden leaf during the third Shinobi War. It's probably what caused the men to attack the village and free the fox. It's also why no one knows your parentage. Your mother and I both strong. Well, wanted throughout all of the hidden villages. You were on the side of caution. From here on forward, me and your mother will do the best to guide you from our end. Minato continued. First thing first, I need to see how your chakra flows into your system. I won't be able to change anything. Now, I said the stream, but anyway, the video probably paused for a second or cut out because I did have to pause recording. Anyway, first thing first, I need to see how your chakra flows into your system. I won't be able to change anything, but I hope Furface can give you a hand with that. Flow chakra through your entire body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Naruto concentrated until he felt the familiar flow of chakra into his body. He looked at his father, only to be surprised at his expression on his face. Naruto, your eyes. Minato choked out. He wasn't wrong to be concerned. Naruto looked down at the reflection of the pool of water to look at his eyes. They were a deeper blue, now almost a royal azure color. Swirling around the pupil was two tomo in each eye. I don't know. I don't know even how that's possible. You shouldn't have the Sharingan, and I'm sure the Sharingan has always been red. I'm gonna have to do some research on my end. Dad, is everything all right? Minato nodded. Yeah, you're just more special than I thought you were. The world around them distorted just barely. Okay, Naruto, you're waking up. So, you're waking up soon. And Furface here just still needs to talk to you. This won't be the last time you see me, and then hopefully soon you'll meet your mom too. Be safe and treat the furball fairly. The fox growled and tried to smash the man with the tail. Oh, speaking of, go to Saratobi and tell him we've spoken. Show him your eyes too. He'll give you what you need. He'll give you what I left seem to hide your strength. Only show it at times of need. The fewer connections that can be made between you and I. Yeah, there's only one thing that I need to tell you now. Minato paused and waved. I love you, son. Minato's eyes flashed bright red for a moment, and he was gone. The connection has been severed. Had been severed. Severed. Naruto had been holding back tears for this long, but now his father was gone. He broke down under the watchful eyes of the nine-tailed fox. I love you too, Dad. I promise I'll make you proud. He looked up at the fox, and the demon nearly recoiled. Okay, Fox, we should probably talk. And that is end of part 1. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead, edit this. Gonna take me some time. So yeah, it's gonna probably be posted at a clean like 7 o'clock. So you may be like looking at the time where my phone is right now and be like, nah. It's gonna be posted at a clean 7. Like, actually, at a clean 7 o'clock.